5-Minute Professor, and today's lesson is on our 6th U.S. president, the first U.S. president to be elected without a majority of the popular vote or a majority of the Electoral College vote. You see, in 1824, the election was split between 4 different candidates, and as a result, no one had a majority. Now, Andrew Jackson had what is called a plurality. They had the most votes of any candidate, but it wasn't a majority. So as a result, the election was thrown into the U.S. House of Representatives, and Henry Clay, who had been running 4th, ended up not being involved in the final election. He threw his support not behind the frontrunner, Andrew Jackson, but rather behind the candidate that was apparently in second place, John Quincy Adams, son of former President John Adams. Now, John Quincy Adams became president in what was called the corrupt bargain, at least by the folks that supported Andrew Jackson. And it pretty much spelled the end of the Federalist Party, because following that, everyone, it turns out, followed Andrew Jackson and the Democrats. So really, it wasn't a win, but it was a short-term win for John Quincy Adams. Now, John Quincy Adams went on to a great career after the presidency. He served in the United States House of Representatives, and he argued before the U.S. Supreme Court. He's the only former president to argue before the U.S. Supreme Court. He argued in the case of the U.S. versus Armistead. Now, maybe you've heard of this. This is a case of a Spanish ship which was carrying slaves in the 1840s, and the slaves declared themselves emancipated on the ship, but they were captured in U.S. waters. Well, what ended up happening was that there was a lot of rigmarole, but it turned out that John Quincy Adams got the men to be returned to Africa. Now, not where they were captured, of course, but to the continent, because apparently every place in Africa is the same. Much like every place in the United States is the same. It's easy. John Quincy Adams was born in Braintree, Massachusetts, but that part of the town is now called Quincy, Massachusetts. Yes, John Quincy Adams, our 6th U.S. president, the result of the corrupt bargain. Born July 11th, 1767. Perceptum, quispium, damnitium. Learn something, damn it.
I'm the 5-Minute Professor, and thank you very much for listening to today's lesson. If you have any comments at all, please put them in the comments section down below. And of course, like it and subscribe to the channel. But most important, if you liked it, if you commented, and if you subscribed, tell your friends. Perceptum, quispium, damnitium. Learn something, damn it.